What's going on, fam? It's your boy Tony Blunt, and it has been a journey to say the least. This may be attempt number 1,000 or a million to restart some sort of content. This is partially due to my tendency to get motivated, then hyper-focused, and then forget about the entire thing after one post. A life with ADHD is unfortunately often a life scattered with the partial remnants of dreams, passions, and the next big idea. And from the outside, I know it may look like a gift sometimes. But I've been able to posture for years like I have my shit together. On the inside, however, my neurodivergent brain feels often like chaos. My 12 and a half years as an air traffic controller was in many ways a godsend. It enabled me to make money in a career that capitalized on an ability to hyper-focus. It didn't require me to keep up with paperwork or answer to a boss daily. It was a job weighted with enough responsibility that it kept my attention while still absolving me of the need to ever take work home. Those were the good parts. Unfortunately, it was also a career littered with good old boy mentality. And those of you that know what that means. One where outliers had to both deal with the stress of the job while also dealing with the bullshit of FAA management and union politics. Add to that constantly changing shift work. For me, 180-mile a day round trip commute, mandatory 6-day work weeks. It doesn't take a lot additional to topple the whole deck of mental cards. Unfortunately, it got a lot additional for me. Multiple family deaths in quick succession, taking care of a family member suffering from mental illness, a chronically ill child, my father's dementia diagnosis, frontotemporal dementia diagnosis. As I, with the help of my wife, worked to keep all the pieces together, it felt like the onslaught would never end. And all of this while doing my best to be a good husband, father, and a leader in a reparations movement. Before I knew it, the cracks became chasms. I think I said that word right. I broke. I tried to pull things back together, create a daily routine, therapy, physical activity. I tried to lean into my prayer life. Eventually, I started losing days. Everything just blended together, and it felt like my brain had just shut off. I laid in bed more. I lost motivation to do even the things that I loved. Then came the feelings of not even wanting to exist any longer. That last part became a louder and louder voice every day. I needed help. I was on a slippery slope. But getting help as a man, admitting that you're in a bad place is hard. And getting help as a Black American man is next to impossible. But I wanted to live. I wanted to be useful and enjoy what life has left in store for me. What followed was psychiatric appointments and pills, bouncing from therapist to therapist until I found one that got me. Most of all, realizing that if I wanted to be everything for the people I loved, I was really going to have to fight for myself. Had to be honest that I couldn't half-ass this. Fighting for my life. Unfortunately, mental health diagnosis and aviation careers aren't a good mix. I did everything I could to keep my career intact, to try to figure out ways to make it work. But I had to make some tough choices. Do I want to carve my mental health around the needs of my career? Or do I want to build a life that puts my sanity first and allows me to flex my career around my mental health needs? I chose the latter. It was and still is probably the scariest decision of my life. What has followed is, well, more chaos, but also reflection, fun, fear, growth. When I originally started preparing this, I was sitting in my office. Yes, my own office, where I just got off a conference call about an app I'm developing with some friends, followed by a couple hours of coursework on brand and web design, and then checking in with the client who owns a cannabis dispensary in the city. I got started around 6 a.m. that morning. Went home around 2:30 p.m. to walk the dog, eat, exercise, check up on my kids, and ended the day with the evening in church. And it has been the first time in a long time, no, scratch that, in my entire adult life, that I've been in control of my own time. And also, it's scary as shit. And I'm still struggling to keep priorities in order. In the back of my mind is a voice that says, nigga, you ain't gonna make it. Better get a regular job again soon. Yet here I am, trusting in God's promises now more than ever. I don't believe that God will bless me in whatever I choose. I do believe, however, that by making him part of my daily routine, by allowing him into all parts of my life, from business to productivity to relationships, that he will honor my faithfulness. I gave my life to Christ a long time ago, but it has only been in the last few years of my struggles that I've learned what it really means to give it all to him. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." There are times when I have felt cursed by the way my mind works. More and more I've come to accept that I was made this way for a reason, but also that I was never meant to be complete without God. What is an instrument without an author? Hopefully now this post doesn't become litter in my room of unfinished projects and thoughts, but the beginnings of a conversation with you, a peek into my life, and hopefully motivation for yours. Peace, fam.